thank you all for joining us. Once again, thank you for joining us on ACIM Gather. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. And thank you anybody who is watching this YouTube video that is prepared for us lovingly by our assistant minister who lives in Puget Sound, Reverend Kelly. So thank you for watching our YouTube videos. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch all the videos. We have a video of every Sunday gathering for the last almost 3 years. 3 years now, yeah, a long time. Okay, this is February, and we have decided that this month is the month we're going to talk about love and relationships. So I decided to start off by talking about loving yourself. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. So many of us remember that song. That was thank you. That was very popular in like the late 80s and early 90s, I believe, and I think made really popular via the work of Louise Hay and the work that she did, especially at the beginning of the AIDS crisis, because one of the things that a lot of gay men who were getting ill had was guilt, and the internalized homophobia was surfacing, and she really thought it was really important that everybody just love themselves. Just, you know, that had to be the ground of being. And so that's why I think kicking off the first week in February with loving yourself and your relationship with yourself is so important. And when I say love yourself, I mean love yourself with a small s. Love yourself. Love your life. I'm not talking about loving yourself with a big S, like your higher self, like your Christed self. I mean, we all love our Christed self. We all love the perfection that's at our core. And that's great. And that's what gives us the energy to love the little self, you know, the little self that we are. That's what this talk is really about. It's loving the little self. You know, I want to love the self that had too many glasses of wine the other night and then couldn't remember where I parked my car when I got home and is out there in the morning wandering around. I like that. I want to love the self that ate too much over the holidays, and I got, you know, this here, and I can't wear my skinny pants anymore. You know, I have to wear just the few pairs of pants I have that stretched a little bit more. I can't wear the skinny pants. I love myself, even though, you know, a really good friend of mine all of a sudden decided that they didn't want to be my friend anymore. I don't particularly know why, and they don't want to spend any time with me anymore.
I do.
Yeah. So I want to love that self. I just want to love me and how I'm showing up and how I am manifesting. So when I thought about doing the Loving Yourself talk, I remember Reverend Vincent did a talk like this a couple of years ago, and he took a picture of him hugging himself. So I decided to take a picture of me, not to be outdone by Reverend Vincent. I decided to take a picture of me hugging myself. And everybody loves this picture. I've gotten so many comments on this picture. Everybody loves it, so I love myself. Everybody loves me loving myself, so I think it's really good. So, you know, A Course in Miracles tells us that we have these issues that come up, and there are issues, maybe they're problems, maybe they're even limitations. But A Course in Miracles says, do not despair then because of limitations. It is your function to escape from them, not to be without them. If you would be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. So it's not our job here to be without these little things that bother us, that we feel that maybe are problems that we have to work on. It's not our place to be without those things. It's our place to be working on them and dealing with them and healing them. They're like the appearances on the healing list. We have to deal with them, work with them. And then as we successfully work with them, we share that automatically with our sisters and our brothers. We're speaking their language. So for all of you who also sometimes have one glass of wine too many and have trouble remembering where your car is parked, I can speak your language. I know you. For all of you who also may have eaten just a little too much over the holidays and now, have to wear the fat jeans, I can speak your language. I know you. And for those of you who also sometimes have friends who just stop returning your texts and not want to see you anymore, I understand you. I can speak your language. I ask for guidance on all of that. And I love what it said in the reading today that Reverend Vincent read. It says, let not the little interferers pull you to littleness. There can be no attraction of guilt in littleness. So those are the little interferers, the little thoughts, like I shouldn't have had that second glass of wine. I shouldn't have eaten so many desserts over the holidays. I should have said or done something different with the people in my life so that they still would want to see me. But those are the little interferers. Don't let that pull you into littleness. Let the Holy Spirit give you new guidance on that. My guidance about my friend is, it's their issue. I don't particularly know what the issue is. It's their issue. I don't have to take it on. And sometimes my very secular Holy Spirit gives me the guidance of, fuck him. Sometimes the guidance sounds like that. I know sometimes in counseling, when people come to me in the midst of a relationship issue where somebody is like, maybe the perception is they're not treating you really well. I think before you can get to forgiveness, sometimes you have to go through the fuck him stage. So, which really just means it doesn't matter what they think. That's what I mean. It just doesn't matter what they think. You don't need to be concerned of it. What they think of me is none of my business. Terry Cole Whitaker used to have that expression. What they think of me is none of my business. It's only my business to stay loving of myself. And as the song says, I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. Another quote from the reading says, let us not let littleness lead God's Son into temptation. So don't let ideas of littleness lead you into the temptation to think that somehow at your core there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with any of us at our core. And the things that are wrong are problems that we have, the appearances that we have on the surface. That's what our job is to do here, is to deal with those and then share the healing of those with all our sisters and brothers. So, last week was the end of January, and I was feeling a little low. I had just gotten over a cold. I had, manifested a cold that was, I get head colds from time to time. This one was as bad as they sometimes are, a lot of sneezing and coughing and mucus and not feeling my best. And I was just kind of getting over that. I had other issues I was thinking that were, the little interferers pulling me down into littleness. And so I asked for guidance, like a good Course in Miracles student, of the Holy Spirit. I says, what can I do practically? What can I do? This was last Sunday. What can I do to feel better? I'm going to talk about loving myself next week on Sunday. What can I do? And the guidance was really clear. Exercise every day this week. Woohoo! And I said, isn't there somebody else up there I can negotiate? Somebody else. There's got to be something. But, no, that was the guidance. And so I want to say that I did it. I exercised every day this week. And I do feel better. Holy Spirit was right. Once again, exercising every day this week and just being really conscious of my food intake really did help me feel better. I frequently will talk about body issues, and I got the same body issues that everybody has, and I've talked about them. I talked about them a lot during my Las Vegas presentation. And I got, so I'm working on my body issues, I've gained a little weight, and I'm working on them, not as strong as I used to be. And then I was reading something that really made me feel a whole lot better. And this was about Hugh Jackman. Now everybody knows Hugh Jackman. He's, this gorgeous hunk of Australian 6'2", broad-shouldered guy. Men love him, women love him, everybody loves Hugh Jackman. And he's really a hunky guy. He's really, really attractive. But I read a story about how unprepared he was for the first X-Men movie, which was in the year 2000. Now, he'd already been a star of some pictures, a romantic lead in some pictures. He was already a really attractive guy, but they hired him kind of late for the X-Men set, and he didn't have quite enough time to get as buffed out as they wanted him to get. Plus, he didn't realize how buffed out they wanted him to get. And so he had some time, but he hadn't been pushing it as much as maybe he should have been pushing it. And so he came onto the set. This is in the year 2000. This is Hugh Jackman. He's gorgeous. He was gorgeous before that. I've never seen him before that. He's gorgeous. And the director, Bryan Singer, saw him and said, we're going to have to redo the whole production schedule because you cannot do your shirt off scenes unless you're a little more buffed. And so, you got these huge motion pictures like this, $100 million budgets. They had to rewrite all the production scenes so that he could keep working out, so that he could do all his shirt off scenes later in the shoot. If this can happen to Hugh Jackman, I can take it on myself. Just everybody's got body issues. Everybody, even Hugh Jackman had body issues, and he still talks about it. It was like embarrassing and challenging, and he didn't, the big buff guy didn't show up buff enough for the shoot. So somehow that just made me feel so much better. So I have been, I have been eating well and exercising for a week, but somehow that week of doing better isn't quite enough yet for me to wear my skinny pants. So I got a few more weeks to go before I can put on the skinny pants. Now, some people, a lot of people in the Course in Miracles community say, we shouldn't be all concerned with these body issues, and then they'll quote this one. It says, whenever you attempt to reach a goal in which the body's betterment is cast as major beneficiary, you try to bring about your death. Okay, so that's pretty. But I think what people miss here is it says body's betterment is cast as major beneficiary. It doesn't mean that it isn't a benefit. It doesn't mean that the body, it isn't going to be better, and maybe you do want your body to be better. It says that shouldn't be the main reason. It shouldn't be the major thing. So the major thing why I asked Holy Spirit for guidance last week was I just wanted to feel a little bit better. I wanted to feel a little bit better. So, the truth is when I exercise, especially if I exercise regularly, I feel better. My mental health issues are better. I am happier. I have more energy. I feel better. And yeah, my body has a benefit. And that's not the reason why I am doing it. Because I love myself the way I am. And I don't need to do anything to love myself. That's like that I need do nothing teaching. I don't need to do anything to love myself. I can love myself just the way I am. But I might have to be sent on the busy doings that the Holy Spirit is going to send me on. So I need do nothing doesn't mean do nothing. It means come from a core where everything is perfect at your center, and then you can do whatever the Holy Spirit guides you to do. Course in Miracles says, this quiet center in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are set. So people stop at that I need do nothing thing and don't read on in the section, because what it says is you hold that at your core ready to go on all the busy doings that the Holy Spirit is going to send you on. And the Holy Spirit sent me on exercising every day this week. That's it takes time. That's a busy doing. But it was really good. We need to hold on to that core that we are lovable. And there's a very early line in chapter 1 that I think sums up everything that I'm trying to say here today. It says, you are the work of God, and his work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is. So we have to think of ourselves as wholly lovable and wholly loving, just the way we are. We may be manifesting appearances and limitations. That's just fine. That's why we're here. We're here to challenge those and rise above those and get over those, and maybe manifest a more demonstration, representation of the perfection that we are. But that doesn't mean the process means there's something wrong with us and there's a reason not to love ourselves. Course in Miracles says, do not let the body be the mirror of a split mind. Do not let it be an image of your own perception of littleness. Hell is the natural state of anything whose interpretation is left to the Holy Spirit. Hell is the result of relinquishing all attempts to use the body lovelessly. Hell is the beginning of the proper perspective of life under the guidance of the one teacher who knows what life is, being the voice for life itself. So, yeah, we have things that we're working on. Everybody does. And it's just fine. And we should be working on them, because we want our life and the world and our bodies to be a reflection of the magnitude that is the truth about us. And we do that best when we come from a core or a center of loving ourselves just the way we are. And if you're, the third line of that song I sang by Louise Hay said, I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I am. We are capable of manifesting the best that we can manifest. And we work on it from that essence of loving ourselves, and then our work will be successful. Whenever a teacher of God has tried to be a channel for healing, he has succeeded. It also says, and then the body will send forth the message it received, and by its health and loveliness proclaim the truth and value that it represents. Let it receive the power to represent an endless life, forever unattacked. So the body can reflect and demonstrate and bring to mind to others an endless life, and it will be healthy and lovely. I've often called this line the beauty secret of the ages. You want to be beautiful, you want to be lovely, then just connect to the Holy Spirit and do the Holy Spirit's work, and that's how we will appear. That's how we will be. So when I feel beautiful, when I feel lovely, when I love myself, it isn't just myself that benefits. Then I see everybody. Then suddenly everybody seems beautiful and lovely and wonderful. And that's a great way to walk through the world. And I noticed that this week. I just saw the people that I always see and just started thinking about how attractive they were. Just because I was being good to myself, I was starting from a better core of loving myself. I was feeling high, I was feeling great, I was feeling beautiful and capable. So I just finished with that. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can, and I love myself just the way I